Hi. Um, it's it's weird. I didn't expect to make another video again so soon because I didn't think there would be anything going on. And I didn't think about the fact that, oh yeah, I'm gonna try and meet Mashima. So I guess, why not talk about that? So I'll start at the beginning. Um, I wasn't even gonna go to New York Comic Con, which is where Hiro Mashima um, ended up appearing. I actually talked to my friend Marie, and I wasn't gonna go to the con this year. I hadn't gone last year either. I did go the year before that, so like 2 years ago. And it was my first con at that point, and this would have been my second time. And I didn't really want to spend the money because I am very tempted to buy quite a lot of things going through all those booths, and I know myself, and I know I have very little self-control, so I just didn't want to even put myself in that environment to be I guess spending money that I didn't need to spend. So yeah, I wasn't gonna go. And then my friend Brittany, she kind of called me the day that tickets went on sale, and she's like, "Hey, let's go together on Friday." And I thought about it, and all right, yeah, I'll go Friday. I mean, why not? Well, especially since you could go together, and I didn't really want to go on Saturday and Sunday because those days are way more packed, and I was looking for merch more so than anything else. So, it makes more sense to go on an earlier day. And so yeah, I decided to go, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go to a Comic Con, woo! And I was like, yeah, that was it. But then we found out because, like I said, I was talking to my friend Marie, and I was like, do you think Mashima might come to Comic Con this year since he's gonna be finished with the series? He might, have the time to do that. And we both kind of decided, he's not gonna come. He's not gonna come. He's gonna be too busy for whatever reason. He's not gonna do it. Because he had come back, he had come to Comic Con, to New York Comic Con back in 2011, and either I wasn't quite a fan yet, or I had just gotten into the fandom and I didn't even know he was here, or even who he was, because I didn't pay attention to who wrote the manga. I was just kind of more so interested in the manga itself and the anime at that point. So yeah, I missed him the last time he was here, so yeah, this would be him coming back. And we always talked about, oh, what if he comes? What if then we all could meet him and it'd be amazing. But we never actually, I think none of us really, really considered it actually happening. But lo and behold, he was announced for Comic-Con, and we were all dying. So it was great. And we were like, oh my God, to our friends who live out of state, you gotta come here now because you gotta meet Mashima. And everything was very up in the air. We didn't have a schedule for him yet. We didn't know exactly what days he would be appearing at Comic Con. And I'm like, well, if he doesn't come Friday, I'm screwed because that's the only day I'm going. And turns out they announced him, and he's showing up Friday. He's showing up Saturday. He has panels for both days, and he has signings on both days. And I was very, very pleased and very relieved. And I then decided, I had decided quite a while ago, at least since not this past April, but the April prior to that, that I was going to make, if Mashima ever came here, I would absolutely make him an Ichiya plushie. Because he seems to really dig Ichiya, and he even... Okay, at the time I felt like a horrible person. I am a horrible person, but it turns out not because of that. I really thought, to me, the way Ichiya looked, really, there was something about his face that resembled Mashima, and I'm like, oh, I'm so bad. I'm such a bad person for thinking that, but no, it turns out that was intentional, because he even said it himself. He's like, I think Ichiya kind of looks like me, and I was like, whoo, okay. Okay, it was on purpose. I'm not, I'm not mean, is for thinking that. But yeah, I was like, I'm gonna make him Ichiya, because Ichiya clearly is his self-insert character. I mean, especially with the way that Ichiya was written in the final arc. We had Ichiya, like, almost defeating Aknoloya, and Mashima was like shipping Ichiya with older Lucy, aka Anna, and I'm like, of course he would ship himself with older Lucy, duh. So yeah, I was like, yeah, I have to make him Ichiya. So I did that in August. I found some time, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make him Ichiya, but I have to make him Groovia plushies because he retweeted my original ones. It's been 3 years now since he retweeted them, and he liked them. He thought they were cute. So I'm like, I have to make him his own set. Gotta represent Groovia. I mean, hello. So I decided to make him. And I asked my friends for advice, like which one should I make him, and we all kind of agreed that I should go with Avatar Gray because you could get plushie Gray. There are official plushies of Gray, obviously, but you can't get Avatar Gray. Like, not Avatar, I should say Devil Slayer Gray. You can't get Devil Slayer Gray in plushie form, so I will give him that one, and I will give him Time Skip Juvia. Can't get Juvia plushies in any form. She doesn't exist. Sad days, sad face. But yeah, so I absolutely made him his own Groovia plushie set and an Ichiya. Okay, now, so I have these plushies made. They're all set, ready to go to be given to Mashima, but the problem is now comes the issue of how to meet Mashima and give him the plushies. Where will I get this opportunity to do this? Also, when we found out he was going to come and he was going to do signings, the question was, how would this work? What were the logistics of it? Like, do you get into the signings? How do you participate in it? Is it going to be first come, first serve? Or is it going to be a lottery? Because apparently, some years prior, when they had manga artists as guests, there were lotteries. And none of us wanted this. None of my friends wanted this. Lotteries are terrible, terrible things in the States. They work in Japan. They work in Japan because people usually aren't assholes and don't sit around entering for things that they're not interested in winning. If they're going to enter into a Hiro Mashima signing lottery thing, they usually care about Mashima and Fairy Tail and read it and watch it and like it, and that's why they're participating. But in a Comic-Con environment, you have a lot of people sitting around like just applying for things that they don't really care about just for the hell of it because it's there because you have the opportunity to do that. And in Mashima's case, and I actually was very pleased about this because I was like, oh, if he comes, I really hope he draws, because when he does signings in Japan, he sketches. He sketches for the fans. He doesn't just do a autograph. He literally, you get a character of your choice and he'll draw it for you. That's amazing. And he'll personalize it to you too. He'll write your name, and that to me is just insane. It's crazy that he does that. So yeah, so I was really, really hoping, although it was a slim hope because I'm like, there's going to be too many people. There's no way he's going to have time to draw for anyone. And in fact, Marie asked a friend of hers who met him in 2011, did he draw or did he just sign something that they provided for him, which is the norm? And apparently, yeah, he just signed things that they gave him for, like a poster or whatever it was that was Fairy Tail. And we were like, okay, so we were prepared for just to get a signature at best, and that was that. But it turns out, no, he's gonna draw. And now we so very much, even more so, wanted to get to meet Mashima. Not just because, I had a gift. I wanted to give him the plushies. First and foremost, I wanted to give him the plushies. I needed to find an opportunity to do that. But also because having him draw something personally for me, that's amazing. That I can't believe that he does that, and it's so wonderful of him. But yeah, so that was the thing. Okay, we were happy he was going to draw. He was going to he was going to go to the con one of the days that I was going to be there, and so that's all great. But now here's the issue. How do you get into this signing? Then it turns out they announce it, lottery. As I said, reasoning why lottery is not good for fans is because you have a very slim chance of actually winning this lottery. And a lot of people get shut out, and people who don't really care that much get in. And that sucks. It is really, really heartbreaking when you find out somebody who really didn't care that much or at all managed to get in. So, and you didn't. So yeah, but yeah, so the time was, passing by. We were getting ready, trying to figure out, like, waiting for like specifics to show up, and about Mashima's schedule. And they announced that there's going to be, actually, he's going to show up at the Japan Society, and he's going to do a talk there. And I and my friends, we saw it was ticketed. That's another thing, tickets and paying for things. I approve of this because a true fan will pay. A true fan will gladly pay for an autograph or signature, or a sketch. Because if you don't care, you're not going to pay for something you don't care about, right? So when the Japan Society thing happened, we're like, this is fantastic. It's not a signing or a sketch, but at least we'll get to see him for sure, because it was like a $30 ticket to go. And we all snatched our tickets up immediately. And my friends, Kat and Whitney, they were kind of trying to figure out, will they be able to come? All right, because Kat's coming from Maryland and Whitney's coming all the way from Texas, and both of them are in the process of switching jobs and switching homes. Kat, in her case, she's moving all the way to Japan, which is brilliant for her. She's basically living a dream that she's had for so long, and it's fantastic. But it was like she basically has to pack, like, she's in the midst of packing and getting all these things together to try and prepare for this ginormous move of her and her family. And this event is happening right at like a very crucial point of this move. So she doesn't even know if she's coming. Same thing with Whitney. She doesn't know if she's coming, or if it'd even be worth coming, because it's going to be if you can't meet Mashima, it's kind of like, well, what's the point to come all that way and spend all that money just to not be able to meet him? So, yeah, it kind of was up in the air for a while, and then they finally, both of them decided, no, I'm going to come. We're going to come, and we're going to try and all meet him together. And Whitney, she had gifts, too. She had art. She's a beautiful, wonderful artist. She usually draws Rubia. She draws Nalu too, and she's amazing. And she wanted to be able to present Mashima with some of her art. So we had gifts for him, So now it wasn't even just a matter of we want to get his autograph and a sketch. Now it's a matter of we want to present him with gifts and explain to him how thankful and grateful we are for everything that he's done in our lives, because if without him and Fairy Tale, none of us would be friends. We would never have met. We would never have gone on trips together, gone to visit each other. We would never have experienced so many amazing things together if not for Mashima. So we really, really, it was very important to us to all be able to meet him, not just individually, but together, and have that experience together. But it was becoming, as days went on, it was becoming less and less likely, but we had a huge group. It wasn't just me, Marie, Kat, and Whitney. It was a lot of our kind of extended friends. My friend Brittany, Marie and I's friend Brittany, and Jane, and Marie's boyfriend Rich, and just all these other people. We had basically like 9 or 10 people in our group trying to win these lotteries, and because you were able to actually bring a extra person if you won a signing. So it could be for you, if you won, plus one other. So that would get 2 people in. And we thought, you know what? We didn't know at the time how limited these signings were. When they announced the Kino Kuniya signing, though, because there was a signing for Kino, we were hoping there would be, because that is an extra chance. When they announced the signing for Kino, they said it was limited to 45. 45, and I think it was the signing was going to last an hour and a half to 2 hours, something like that. And then we knew we were probably royally screwed. Because if that one was 45, then so were the others most likely, because they were similar, like, time frame. But we still had hope. We were like, you know what, maybe still somehow, we'll get in. Nope. Nope. We all got our answer on that Friday before the con. It was sad days, people. It was sad, sad funeral time days. It was just devastating. As like Marie got her reply first from Comic-Con, and she had the most chances of anybody. She was going Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and she potentially Sunday, and she won nothing. Not a damn thing. And we were like, oh, holy shit. I was anyway. I was like, no, if Marie didn't win anything, not a thing, what chance do the rest of us have? And even the panel, like the panel for me, I'm like, oh, the panel that's going on Friday was going to be a Q&A, and he was going to sketch live on like, on stage, and that was the cooler one in my opinion, because he had another one on Saturday that was at the Hammerstein Ballroom, but the Friday one was the more interactive one because of the Q&A and the drawing. And I was like, that one's not going to be hard to get in or hard to win, because it's a main stage event. The main stage is huge, and they were going to give out like 50% of the tickets ahead of time via the lottery. And I'm like, that one is going to be one. I feel like we have no problem there. With so many people trying, we're all going to get into that. I was right about that. We did all get in. It turns out that Marie didn't win, but her boyfriend did, I did, Kat did, Whitney did. That got our whole group in, because you were allowed to have 4 people per winner. So we all got into the panel and got to enjoy that together, and it was amazing. And I'll talk about that after. But that was fine. That happened the way I thought it would. Relief, we didn't have to go super early. We did anyway, but we didn't have to go. Well, no, because we would have had to go super early in the morning to like touch our badges to lock our places into that panel. So we didn't have to do that. We didn't have to show up at like 7 in the morning, so that was a relief. Great. But yeah, none of us won the lottery for any of the signings. We were completely shut out, and we were devastated. It was very discouraging, because Whitney and Kat already had decided they're coming. They paid for their plane tickets. They're on their way. They're gonna be there. They're gonna be here in a week. But we have no way of meeting Mashima. Then they announce another opportunity to meet him. One final chance. And that would be on Sunday. He was going to appear again on Sunday at the Funimation booth. And the specifics of that were cosplayers basically would get tickets. They would give out some tickets the day before at Saturday for the Hammerstein Ballroom panel. And then they would give out the other tickets just before the signing on that morning on Sunday. And basically it seemed to be just for cosplayers. So if you were a cosplayer and you came early enough, you would probably get in. All right, that was the deal. That was what was basically listed there as far as the information goes on Kodansha site. So we were like, okay, so I wasn't going to cosplay. I was not going to cosplay at all. I've never cosplayed before, and I didn't feel like I really wanted to, because I've been to the con before, and I know how tiring it is, and I didn't really want to be uncomfortable all day. But to meet Mashima, I will make an exception. So now I had to, but there was one other problem. There was one other problem. I didn't have a Sunday ticket. My friend Whitney didn't have a Sunday ticket, and there was an even huger problem for Kat. She couldn't stay to Sunday even if she had wanted to. She, again, in the midst of packing, in the midst of all the move to Japan, she could not possibly stay till Sunday. It was just not it was just not gonna happen. She couldn't do it. So she was at that point shut out completely, complete and utter devastation. And for Whitney and I, we had to scramble to try and get a last-minute Sunday ticket, pay more than what we would normally pay, obviously. Not too much, thankfully, but even so. So we managed to get a Sunday ticket. We scrambled for it. We did, and that worked out. But I then had to figure out a cosplay. Now, obviously, I was like, well, I was thinking maybe I could borrow my friend Brittany's Lucy cosplay on Sunday because she wasn't gonna go Sunday, and I thought maybe I could use it for then. But then as my friend Whitney, she said, oh, because she was gonna cosplay. She was doing her first cosplay at her first ever con as Juvia, of course, because Juvia is our favorite character, and so she was gonna be Juvia. And she decided she's going to be the Kitty Juvia, which is the one from Mashima's Twitter that he drew a graffiti for Cat Day of Juvia and Gray in kitty ears. And Juvia was wearing this really beautiful, like, light blue dress with a gold belt and, like, her regular hat with kitty ears. And that's the one that Whitney decided she wanted to do. And so she did the whole thing herself. She got a dress, and it didn't really fit her. It was way too big. She tore the whole thing apart and she rebuilt it from basically the ground up, and she did an amazing job. And she made the hat herself, and it was just beautiful. Like, it was a gorgeous cosplay, and she worked so hard on it. And she got a wig, obviously, the Juvia wig, like a wig that fit Juvia's character. And she's told me, she's like, I have an extra, so if you want it, you can use it. And I'm like, oh my god, thank you, wonderful person, Whitney. And I was like, well then, I guess I'm gonna be Juvia after all. So, and another reason I didn't really originally want to be Juvia is because we already had two Juvias. Because Marie also was going to cosplay as Juvia. She was going to be basically the GMG Juvia. And I was like, oh, I don't know, 3 Juvias. Is that going to be overkill? I don't know. And I didn't want to take any shine away from their cosplays as well. So I was like, I don't know if I should do it. But then when I was desperate, I was like, and she was offering the extra wig, I was like, okay. Yeah, I do want to be Juvia. If I'm going to be somebody, I want to be my favorite character. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be Juvia. So then I started thinking, and we started brainstorming, my friends and I, and they're like, I'm trying to think something simple, because I have a week to get the cosplay together. And they were thinking there was this other Twitter sketch that Mashima made several years ago. That was a summer sketch, and Juvia was wearing like a big floppy hat and a white dress, and it was really cute. And I was like, yeah, maybe. And then the more I thought about it, I go, I don't know. I kind of want to do something a little more intricate, but it has to be something I can actually do in such a short span of time. And then I thought, what does Mashima like? What does he like? Maids. He likes maids, and he's drawn Juvia as a maid 3 times. Twice on Twitter, once on a chapter cover, and I'm like, it's decided. Maid do Juvia. I'm gonna be Maid Juvia. That's a costume I could put together. I actually had some clothes in my closet that were kind of appropriate for Maid Juvia. They weren't completely accurate. Definitely not the top was, but I was glad I wore that top at the end of the day, because that thing, it was hot. Man, it was real hot outside. So, and inside. So, yeah, I had like a sleeveless thing, and some ruffles that was not appropriate to the costume, because she didn't have any ruffles on any of hers, any of the drawings of her as a maid, but I don't care. Man, it was cute, so I did it. I got some of the other, like, I had a puffy skirt that I got from Harajuku, actually, when I went to Japan several years ago. And the problem was it was a red plaid design. It was trimmed in red plaid and on the bottom too. And those things needed to be white. So I worked all weekend that weekend to turn that red plaid into white by covering it up with white ribbon and white fabric. And I did it. I got that done. I bought a whole bunch of other accessories, which came over the course of the next several days. Bless you, Amazon Prime. So I got all my accessories, and I can now be Maid do Juvia. And that was my plan. That was my plan. Me and Whitney, we were like, okay, we're gonna go Sunday with Marie super early, and we should get in. We were planning on being there like 6 a.m., something ridiculous like that, and we were going to try to get in. We thought, oh, no problem. How many people are going to be cosplaying, and who's going to be there that early, and we're going to rush to the Funimation booth. We're going to scope it out on Thursday when we go for our first day there. But Kat, there was still an issue with Kat. Now, Kat managed to actually get into the Friday signing via a very kind fan on Reddit who had an extra ticket. So she was good. She was fine. She was in. We were still trying to get in via other ways just in case Sunday didn't work out. So we were going to still apply for the Kinokuniya lottery. So we were kind of down. I think part of it was also that we knew Kat had a definite in, and we were still kind of up in the air. I think that's kind of what it is, because it wasn't just that we wanted to meet Mashima, but that we wanted to do it together. All right, and it looked like that wasn't going to happen, no matter what, because even if we all met him, Kat would meet him Friday, and we would meet him Sunday, and it would not be an experience we all shared. So that was kind of upsetting. So basically on Sunday, the Sunday before the con, Marie and I were basically going to head to Kinokuniya and go enter the lottery in person, because you could do that. It was like there was an online application, then there was an in-person application, and we were going to ask some questions. So I was on the train headed to Kinokuniya, and I see that my phone is blowing up, and I look and I see that Kat. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. So, because we were so desperate, Kat, always the voice of reason, and just also optimism, because she's like, I'm gonna write a letter, and I'm gonna send it to whoever I can think of, who could possibly help us out, and her letter, which you can find on Tumblr, was absolutely amazing. It was so heartfelt, and it was so true and lovely, and just it basically explained how much the series meant to us, and how much we so wanted to meet Mashima, people coming from out of state, and how devastated we were that we got shut out of the lottery, and is there any way that anyone can help? Kinokuniya answered first, and they're just like, nice letter, sorry, can't do anything about it because our hands are tied. It's like we're limited to 45, and that's just how it is. And so we were like, okay. And me especially, like I was so like pessimistic. I'm like, unless someone is incredibly kind and takes pity on us, this isn't going to work. Amazing letter though it is, it's just not going to happen. Well, like I said, I was on the way to Kinokuniya on Sunday, and my phone blew up, and I see that Kat shows us that this lovely guy called Greg from Read Pop, the people behind the organization of the Comic-Con of NYCC, he read the letter and is going to gift us 4 golden tickets to Hiro Mashima's signing on Friday. We would all, for sure, be meeting Mashima together and getting our signing, the sketch, and also be able to tell him everything we wanted to tell him, and give him anything we'd like to give to him. And I was shaking. I was dying on the train. I was basically like literally this, like, phone, and I'm gonna go meet Mashima. I was like, oh my god, Kat, you brilliant, amazing, magical person. You are a miracle worker, and I cannot believe this is happening. Honestly, none of what happened following this would have been as incredible as if not for Kat. If we didn't know Kat, if Kat was not with us, if she was not our friend, if she wasn't as brilliant as she is, and as just as eloquent as she is, and just none of this would have happened. Not a thing of it. It's all down to Kat. So bless you, Kat. Thank you, Kat. You are a queen, Kat. I bow to you and your skills and your just amazingness. So yeah, in fact, let me see. I hope it's in here because I was like, where did that go? Okay, it is. No. Okay. Okay, so so now that that's settled, let me just put this here because I was like, what did I do with that? I hope I didn't lose it. That would be terrible. So okay, so that was settled. We were ecstatic. And now the Kinokuniya, we went and entered the lottery anyway, just in case, you know, because there were a lot of other friends of ours who didn't get in, okay? They're not getting a golden ticket. So, you know, we tried for the opportunity regardless. We went into Kino, we signed up for it, and suffice it to say, none of us won again. So, yeah. That we figured that would happen, and that's why I said that Sunday was probably our only and best bet, like our best opportunity to get in. But now on Thursday, when it came time for the con, okay, so Kat hadn't come yet, Whitney did. We went on that morning to meet Greg, and we had a hard time finding him at first, but he found us, thankfully. And he literally, when we heard golden tickets, we were like, okay, we immediately think Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I should say. And, you know, we got a golden ticket, I got a golden ticket. And it was literally a golden ticket. Like, it is gold. It is gold, people. It is shiny. It is a golden ticket. I am very happy with this, and I'm glad we got to keep it too. I was worried we'd have to give it in, and I was like, nope, we kept this. And this is going to be on display at some point, whenever I get around to that. But this is pretty awesome. We were given these tickets, and we literally were like, you know, Charlie in the Chocolate Factory is like amazing that we got these. And Greg could not have been nicer. Oh my god, nice guy. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, thank you to Greg and Reed Pop for just this, because this is what made this experience for us. So yeah, we had our tickets, and there was no Mashima yet at the con. He was not there on Thursday. We just kind of hung around. We went visiting Kodansha booth first and foremost. So that's what all this is. So the Kodansha booth, there were a lot of freebies that you could get, all right, as long as you bought things. So what happened was, one of the things, oh, let me get that. I'll be right back. Hold on. So one of the things I absolutely wanted, we already knew what was being sold because they announced it ahead of time online. So one of the things I definitely wanted, for sure, 1000%, was the gorgeous poster that I didn't know until we got there was a limited edition poster of only 250. Don't know if they ever sold out. They were kind of pricey, I guess, but they were worth it. Oh my god. So what I wanted was this poster of the final chapter's cover page. It was the magazine cover, not the actual chapter cover, which makes me a little sad because that means when it comes out as a volume, it's not going to be on there. But it doesn't matter because I have it as a poster. Ta-ta-da-da! And of course I wanted for that cute Groovia, especially with the huggings and the cute faces, and it's just so cute. It's all the cute. So, but here's what's so great. So, okay, so like I said, it's limited to 250. And this is number 21 out of 250. And there's even a beautiful, like, Mashima's name, signature embossed in gold there. And it was a struggle to keep this poster. Let me just tell you, it was a struggle to keep this poster not from getting bent all day. That was not fun. And in fact, poor Whitney, hers got kind of squashy, and she ended up having to get another one the next day. But it's okay, because I'm sure the other one didn't get squashed. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty beautiful. I was very happy to get this poster. It was $35, and it was worth every penny. That being said, oh, see, yeah, mine had gotten a little bit too. I didn't even remember where it had gotten bent anymore. It was like somewhere here on Julia's boob. Right there. You can't really see it that much, thank God, and hopefully once I frame it, you won't see it at all. But, you know, like I said, it was really hard to keep it from getting messed up because you're traveling, which a lot of people had their, like, poster tubes, and that was smart. Okay, we did not have any poster tubes. It did not work out well for us. Anyway, so here I am struggling to kind of, like, close it up again, but it's getting sticky. So yeah, that was one of the things I got. And as long as you spent about $50, which I did not yet at this point, I also wanted for sure to have the specials, the book of specials, the first one, because there were 2 of them that came out, and they had come out in Japanese, and I'm like, I'm not getting that. I want it in English. Why would I buy it in Japanese? I want to be able to read it in English, and I'm not getting them till they come out in English. Well, lo and behold, and this was a pre-street date. I mean, pre-street selling, because it hasn't come out yet anywhere in stores. So this was sold ahead of time, just at the con, and I was very happy to get this because, as far as Groovy is concerned, it has Fairy Tale of the Dead Men. It has the 413 Days, the epitome of Groovia. It has Welcome Home Frosh, and it even has the Christmas special in there. So a whole lot of Groovia in this, and it's great. I'm happy to have it. So I got that, and at that point I had spent about $45. I still needed to spend 50 more. I mean, not 50 more, 5 more, and I would get the art book. This was and it's a really nice hardcover. Now, there's nothing in here that's not in any of the other art books. I own both. Actually, I own 3 of them because I also have the Twitter one. But, I mean, for $5 extra and free, why not? Why not get it? So I ended up buying, which was not $5 more, but $15 more. But what are you going to do? There wasn't anything else there that was cheaper. But still, ain't going to say no to Natsu and Lucy pins. They're very cute. There were, I think, limited edition. See, it says it's a convention exclusive, 2017. So I got them, and that's how I got this. And yeah, there's nothing in here that we haven't seen before. It's all art that existed in some other art books, or, you know. So yeah, but it's just nice. I just like that it's hardcover, and that's great. And also, another freebie was this little kind of a reproduction of a drawing that Mashima did. It says, "Thanks for supporting Fairy Tale, Hiro Mashima," and he did Natsu. You could kind of even see some of the pencil sketching that he did, like when he I guess he was going to draw it, and then he erased some things, and then, you know, inked it in. So that's really cool. And finally, and these were really limited, we had to wait around for like a half hour online, and we were very lucky because there were a bunch of people behind us who did not get one, who were waiting. This really cool bag from New York Comic Con and Fairy Tale, and there's Groovia right there. But yeah, and it's a pretty big bag. It's long, and it's nice. And here's the back of it. And yeah, those were all the really cool freebies you could get. And we did. We got all the freebies we could get. So I'm very happy that we did that. And the Kodansha booth was cool for another reason, in that they had a lot of Fairy Tale art on display, but they also had this really huge paper there that you could draw on. And they were gonna give that to Mashima at the end, so you could leave a message. They even had a lot of little sticky notes, and you could write a little message on there, and they'd give those to Mashima too. They had like a kind of like a book where you could like write a message in that as well. Whitney drew Gruvia on that board, on that paper, and it was so cute. She did such a great job on it, and it was nerve-wracking because you're drawing in front of others in an awkward position, and it was funny because there was another guy there who's also a Gruvia fan, and he was drawing Juvia first, and then he decided to add gray, and he used my gray plushie as a model so he could see the hair, because oh my god, Gray's hair. But it was just so funny because we had two Gruvia drawings at the same time. They were both drawing Gruvia, and what it was it was really showing that there are a lot of people who like Gray and Juvia as well, like just her as a character, because it's really easy to forget that, because online there's so much hate, there's so much just vitriol, and you forget that it's really easy to be multiple people online. And by that I mean, and this is a very big pet peeve of mine, because it's happened to me before in the past. You meet people online and they say, I'm this person and I have this opinion, and then there's another person and they have that opinion, and then there's this other person and they have this same opinion, and then it looks like there's a whole bunch of people who all are being like hating on something, and then it turns out it's literally one person. Or somebody says, I'm this, and they frame a fandom or for their own bad behavior, when in reality they don't even like it, like the character they say they like, or like the ship they say they like, that they're just trying to frame someone with their bad behavior. They're doing it on purpose. That's why I'm always very careful when somebody says, I'm this and this and this, I like this character and I'm like this and I like this ship, and yet they're acting badly. I doubt it. Especially anonymous people. I am very cautious about believing they are who they say they are, and especially if they're doing something that hurts that particular fandom. But my point is that, the internet, as big as it is, fandoms can get very concentrated, and especially now when the series is over and it's kind of filtered out a lot of people, and it's easy to focus on the very loud negativity and the loud anti-groups, but they're literally a tiny little percentage, and they're really just a few people, and it could even be less than just a few people, because you don't know who's lying and has multiple personalities, and trust me, there are people who do that shit, and I hate those people because it's really a huge pet peeve, and I never have any trust. I'm very, very, very skeptical about everything, for good reason, because I know that people are liars, basically. So yeah, point is that at Comic-Con there was a lot of Juvia love. A lot of Juvia love and a lot of Gruvia love, and even just right then on that Thursday we saw it, because people were drawing Gruvia and people were like just saying that they really liked Juvia, or there was even a guy there who was cosplaying as, I think that was Friday though, cosplaying as Gray and Juvia's son, Storm, which was cute. So he had created already Gray and Juvia's character's kid in his head, so he was being that kid. But yeah, there was this just love and enthusiasm. That's not just Gray and Juvia and Gruvia, just in general, Fairy Tail gets a lot of hate online, and in person, you're not going to meet people who hate Fairy Tail coming up to you and saying, this is shitty and this is that, and, sitting around trying to degrade it and degrade you for liking it. You get that online, but doing it in person to somebody's face, that's a different story, you see. You see, it's a lot harder to do, and if you do it, you're an asshole. So, yeah, it was just nice to just have that love and to just meet other people who genuinely enjoyed Fairy Tail. And, So yeah, after we went to the Kodansha booth and we kind of checked out some of Artist Alley, and it was just ridiculously hot. And we ended up going to the Japan Society so Marie and Whitney could get ready into their cosplays. I wasn't going to cosplay that day because I had not yet. Whitney had just given me the wig because that was the first day I was seeing her. So I didn't know how to put it on yet, and I didn't want to lug around my cosplay, which partly is a very poofy skirt, and I didn't want to have to even think about how I'm going to carry that around. So I just didn't. I decided not to that day. And I helped them get ready as, and then also Marie's boyfriend, Rich, was cosplaying as Gray. So we had a Gray and we had two Juvias. And started getting really excited because we saw that inside the room where Mashima was going to be, they actually had his name on the seat where he would sit and in the front row. And we were like, oh my god, he's going to be here soon. And we were there really early, and then Kat showed up and she joined us, and it was like, woohoo, we're all together, we're all going to be Mashima soon. Oh, well, not meet him, but see him at least soon. And then it was time to go, or like the rest of our group came, and it was time to get inside the room. And we, of course, picked the first row. And Kat sat right next to the photographer, and I sat next to her, and then everybody else sat down. And then Mashima came in, and one of the people behind the localization of Fairy Tale, he was the moderator, and Marie and I had actually met him once before. He was there at the Noragami. There was a Noragami editor event at Kinokuniya a couple years ago, and we went to that, and he was there, and he was very, very nice, and he asked wonderful questions. I thought the questions they asked at the Japan Society Talk Plus event were great. I thought they were all very interesting, and I enjoyed them thoroughly. And they also had a Q&A for fans after they were done asking their questions, and also the translator for Mashima, who was with him, she was so cool. She was very chill, very nice. So she was great too. So it was just overall very enjoyable panel. When Mashima came out on stage, it was just so cool. Like, I was really nervous in the beginning. I was like, and I was sitting there. Oh yeah, I forgot. There was also another thing I wanted to show you, because that day Whitney also, she had told me earlier. I just dropped something. Oh, so Whitney had very kindly, along with our friend Crystal, surprised me with this amazing Grey-sama love bag. Like, come on. And I know some of these keychains are turned around because they're evil. But she even got me this. She bought me this one, and she's bought me this one. She got me this in when I went to see her in Texas, her and Crystal, in June. And so I'm all decked out with my Gray merchandise, as Juvia would be. And I'm representing Groovia Love on here as well. So this is just a great bag, and I had this with me every single day that we went to the con and even beyond. And it was a huge hit. When we went to before we left the con, we went to Artist Alley. Artist Alley also had a tiny little booth that had some of Mashima's art too, and there was a woman there who was from Kodansha, and she was awesome, very, very friendly, and she took pictures of the bags and posted them on the Kodansha Instagram. So they're there, and they absolutely represented the Juvia Love, and the Groovia Love, and the Gray Love, and it was just really cool to have that accessory, especially the next day when I was being Juvia, because of course Juvia would have a Grey-sama Love bag. But yeah, anyway, that night, obviously there were only 3 people who were cosplaying, and that was Marie and Rich and Whitney, and so they really stood out. And they were in the front row, and they were like, and of course Marie's very exuberant, she's very outgoing, and so she was of course always going to be made known that made her presence known, let's just put it that way. And they eventually, after Mashima was done, with his talk, he took pictures with them, and it was really cool. And those are also on the Facebook and on the Twitter, I think. And you could see them with Mashima, and it was really awesome. And in fact, Mashima took selfies with several people as well. I was sad I didn't get one. I think that was the only thing I kind of regret, is that I never really ended up getting a picture with Mashima and I both facing the camera together. I didn't get any picture like that with Mashima, but it's okay, because other than that, it was pretty awesome weekend. And I can't complain really at all. So, but yeah, Marie asked a question, and no one else from our group asked a question except TK, who's Honey TK, on Tumblr, and she's an amazing artist, and she came too, and she actually cosplayed as Juvia. She made her cosplay, and she looked amazing. Such a great cosplay. I can't believe she made that. And she was on Saturday, which I didn't go to, so that's sad days. I didn't get to see her in her cosplay, but yeah, she was also Juvia, so there was a lot of Juvias going on in our group. So she was there, and she asked a question as well, really good question. And so yeah, Marie and TK asked questions, and nobody else did. I was going to ask a question. I was going to ask a question near the end, because Mashima had said something interesting in reply to another question, which was, was there anything he had wanted to do that he couldn't do with Fairy Tail that he's looking forward to doing in his next series? And he said love. All right. He said love, and he said that he wanted to basically explore a character falling in love with another character. And I sat there thinking, but what? The Fairy Tail had a lot of couples. There was a lot of love going on, especially for shonen. So does that mean that he didn't get to do as much as he wanted to do with his relationships because of either he wasn't allowed to, or because he felt like the genre held him back? And so I really wanted to ask that question, but by the time I started putting up my hand, the couple of other people got picked, and then I wasn't picked again, and they said, okay, this is going to be our last question, and I was like, and I thought a good one, and I was so nervous. I had another question too, but I didn't want to ask it in front of everybody. I was too embarrassed, so I didn't want that one. I wanted the one that I had just thought of, because I thought that was really good. But it's okay, because the next day, a dude asked basically that same question. I wasn't exactly happy with the answer, but at least it was asked. And I'll go to that. I'll talk about that after. Man, this video is going to be so long. I am so sorry, people. I hope you're not bored already. So, anyway, point is that day was great. And I will say, though, that apparently a guy... because they were giving away like a huge bundle with all the freebies I just showed you, plus and then some, including that poster and it was signed by Mashima. Like, obviously it would have been great to win, and in order to choose the winner, they did a fun, very Japanese game, which is rock paper scissors against Mashima himself. Now it was kind of also you had to be honest. So if you threw up something that was not, that lost, and you stayed up anyway, you're an asshole. But I'm sure some people might have. I don't know on that day, because there were not that many people in the audience, so it might have been harder to cheat. But our whole group lost very quickly. It was very sad. Like, almost all of us threw out scissors when Mashima threw out rock right away. So it was like sad days. But the guy who ended up winning, apparently, I found this out via somebody else, via Kat, via others, that the guy who won actually snuck into the Japan Society talk event without having paid. And he ended up winning the bundle. And that's bullshit. And you should feel ashamed of yourself. You're a jerk. So there's that. That's the kind of thing that would never happen in Japan. Do you see what I mean about the lotteries and stuff like that? It's like bad behavior gets rewarded here, and it's really unfortunate. And what are they going to do? How do you prove it? How do you stop it? So yeah, that was messed up. But yeah, then we went afterwards to the little reception. I will say though, what originally had made the Japan Society thing so awesome was we were hoping that Mashima would also go to the reception. And because the year before that, the Assassination Classroom author also did the same kind of talk while he was here, and he went to the reception and he hung out and talked a bit with his fans. And we were like, oh my god, then I could give him my plushies, Whitney could give him the art that she wants to give him, we could talk to him, ask him questions in a more like private, personal setting, and it would be amazing. That would be better than anything we could get in Comic-Con, and it's well worth the $30 for the tickets. We found out early on that he wasn't going to go to the reception, probably because he was tired, he was jet lagged, and I understand that, and it's fine. But yeah, that it still ended up being a lovely reception, and we hung out and we talked with our friends, and we got pictures taken, and again, because my friends were cosplaying, they stood out a lot, and it was just generally a really great first day of the con, and the Japan Society event and everything, and it went really well, and we were all really happy and upbeat, but really tired. And then tomorrow was going to be the big day. So I was now going to cosplay Juvia, like I said. So here's the thing. Part of my cosplay was going to be, I was going to do my nails, and I was like, okay, what can I do with my nails? I never pick my nails. My nails are super short and bit down so bad. But I was like, I'm going to paint them and do something with them. And I'm like, what would Juvia do? So Juvia absolutely would write Gure-sama on her nails. I wish I had done the S-A-M-A, like I had the gray here, but I was doing it in order. I wasn't thinking, it's whatever, in order of fingers, but I should have done different, but it's whatever. And they still lasted. They're still pretty good right now. And I did like a really messy snowflake on this one, and I did a little heart for the love on the pinky. And so yeah, I wrote Gure-sama on my nails. And I practiced with my wig the night before, make sure I could get all this hair in there. Disaster struck the next day regardless, but it's okay. It was all taken care of eventually. But yeah, so I was really kind of embarrassed and nervous to cosplay because I had to walk down my very busy avenue in my neighborhood where I had, I guess because I've been living here for so long that I felt like, very, I don't know what to say, like that people would recognize me or know me, or, I just didn't want any stares, or I didn't want to, I like blending in. I like blending in. I like kind of like blending into the crowd and being kind of invisible and inconspicuous. And I felt like I was very conspicuous wearing a blue wig and a maid costume. So, but I took some side streets that morning to get to the train. But once I got to the train and I was waiting there, I realized, you know what, it's New York. And nobody cares. And I had it because I didn't have my little like maid thing that they have, the little white thing on your head, the band. I put that on as I was waiting for the train, and when I was on the train, these women thought I looked really cute, and I started feeling better. And then when I got off, this woman and I was at the Hudson Yards stop. This woman wanted a picture of me, who she worked at the subway, then this guy came up to me and asked Maid Juvia out, I should say. Megane Maid Juvia, because I had my glasses on and I wasn't going to take them off because I can't with contacts. I was like, you know what, Maid Juvia's got glasses, too bad. So she asked, but I turned, he had a pickup line, I guess that completely went over my head because I'm oblivious when it comes to stuff like that. And he was like, don't you need a gray? Like, where's your gray? And stuff like that. And I didn't realize, I guess he met him. It was just completely, I was like, oh, my friend's boyfriend is being gray, so he's got 3 Juvias. But yeah, and then he said, oh, he knew me. He knew Juvia and he knew Fairy Tail. Don't know if he really liked Fairy Tail, but he seemed to know it, so I guess he did. But it was just cool that I was even recognizable. I didn't think anyone would know me as Juvia because I was in a maid costume as well as just the blue hair. But I guess like the bag, thank you Whitney, because the bag says Gure-sama on it, so that would be like the big, alarm bell. Hello, it's Juvia. But yeah, point is that I met up with my rest of my friends. We went to the Kodansha booth again, and my other friends, like Brittany, was there, and she was dressed as Lucy, and we had Jane dressed as Erza, and we had met Bahari, who I had never met before. I met her on Thursday for the first time, and she was lovely. She was so sweet, and she actually got to share in our meeting with us. Thank God, that was really lovely. Kat chose her, and it was really cool that we got to share that with her. But yeah, we were at the Kodansha booth, and then we started heading to go to the panel together. And we had to get there real early because we wanted to get into the front, and people were already lined up. There were already people in front of us, and there were other cosplayers this time. There wasn't that much cosplay on Thursday, but on Friday there were quite a few, and we met some really cool people. We met this guy who's normally Gajeel, and oh my god, he showed us his Gajeel, and he was amazing as Gajeel, like such a great Gajeel, because Gajeel's hard to cosplay, because he's got the hair going on, and like feathers and things, and he's just got the like studs, and he was a great Gajeel. But that day he was Jalal. And he wanted to take pictures of us, the Juvias, because he's like, Juvia's like, Gajeel's little sister, and he loves Juvia, and we were all like, oh my god, you're awesome. And there was a Melody who was amazing. This Meredy, she came from, I think she was from the Netherlands, I think, and she gave us her card, and she actually cosplays with her horses. She was dressed as, I forgot who, Sasha, I can't remember the Attack on Titan, all the names anymore, but she was one of them, and she was riding on her horse in cosplay. That's awesome. And she says she's usually Juvia, and her boyfriend's usually Gray, but Gray's not here, so she decided to be Melody. Her boyfriend's not here, so she decided to be Melody, who is obviously Juvia's BFF, and she wanted to take a picture with us, the Juvias, because of BFF. She was so nice, and we met another Juvia in line, and we took a picture with her, and there was lots of Juvia love from people who were not dressed as Juvia and people who were dressed as Juvia, and it was so cool to like see just all the fairy tale love in general, because there was a huge line, and that whole main stage room was filled up with fairy tale people, fans who loved it, and it was amazing. It was just, again, like online, you get this whole other experience of all these people who are jaded and angry and just so critical, and then you go in person and you see all these people who really love fairy tale and wanted to see Mashima, and who even took the time to cosplay, and that is just such a fun experience, and just to be in that group of people who really love the series and aren't being down about it and just being excited about it and being excited to see Mashima. And then we went into the panel, and I would say it was the best panel probably of the entire. I didn't go on Saturday, but to me, it was the best one. The Japan Society was something different. It was more serious. This one was more fun. It was more interactive. It was more energetic. But yeah, we were at the panel, and Mashima was drawing, and he was taking requests, and people were asking questions, and like I said, my question of whether he felt like he couldn't do what he wanted to do as far as the relationships went, because the guy phrased it really funny, actually. He's like, you could have Natsu falling into Lucy's boobs all the time, but you can't have them kiss. Like, what is that? Like, why can't you? Is the editors or Kodansha hold you back? The magazine that you're in? Do you feel like the genre? Like, why can't you do more with the couples? And he basically, the editor there said, well, it's not my fault. Mashima, it's all on Mashima. Mashima does what he wants. And Mashima basically said he did everything he wanted to do. So that's why I was a little confused by the answer and by considering what he had said the day before. Because the day before he said that what he felt like he couldn't do was explore love more. And so it didn't really match. So I don't understand exactly what he meant, therefore, by what he said in the Japan Society question in comparison to what he said in the New York Comic Con main stage panel Q&A. I'm still not clear about that. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he said he did everything he wanted to do. So there you go. All right. But yeah, anyway, he was doing taking requests, and he started drawing. Of course, the couples came up. So he drew like, I think he drew Jalal and Ersa first, and then he drew Natsu and Lucy, and he drew, of course, Gray and Juvia. And when he was drawing Gray and Juvia, of course we were excited, and I was like, but first, when he started drawing, he was drawing Juvia, and he didn't seem like there would be room for Gray. I was like, is he just going to draw them separate? Because I see Juvia, but I don't see where Gray's going to fit into this. He's bigger than her. And he's drawing a very nice Juvia, and she's taking up a lot of the page, and I'm like, okay, where's Gray going to go? And then he starts drawing in Gray, and then he starts drawing in Gray's expression, and where I literally said, come on! Come on! He had the, like, that frowny, what's it called? The kind of, where he's gritting his teeth, like, annoyed face. And then we were like, come on, make him smile. Don't do this to us. Stop being mean. Like, don't hurt our feelings here. And then the blushy came in. So it's like, nah, that's great. He's always going to be soon with Juvia. That's just that's what Mashima likes. That's their dynamic. I guess I'm just happy that Juvia wasn't in heart eyes mode, because she's just like all comfortable, like, yeah, Gray-sama, yay, we're posing for a picture. And Gray's just like, blushy, you're too close. It was a cute picture. And then he drew, this girl asked for, actually, was that before? I can't remember the order. I have to rewatch it, because someone actually posted it all online on YouTube. But somebody did ask Mashima who he prefers Natsu with, and he very clearly held up Natsu and Lucy's drawing that he did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that happened first. So he held up Natsu and Lucy drawing that he was sketching at the time as his answer. And anybody who thinks that that's not ultimate confirmation that who he prefers Natsu with, as if it wasn't already obvious, you're quite in denial. I'm sorry, unfortunate for you, but I was there. It was really obvious that he's saying Natsu and Lucy are the thing. And then somebody did ask him about, like, it was nearly the exact same question. They asked him, do you like Natsu with Lucy or Natsu with Lizana? Who do you prefer him with? And he kind of went into more detail of why he likes Natsu and Lucy and why he likes Natsu and Lizana's relationship. He didn't choose between the two, because he had already made his choice in the previous question when he held up Natsu and Lucy. So, again, if you were there, it was really obvious his answer, because he held up Natsu and Lucy. Anyway, that being said, someone asked for a Natsu and Lucy child drawing, and I'm really excited about this, because they made it up to us what it would be. And I've always wanted girl for Natsu and Lucy. Actually, I always pictured them with 3 kids. I always pictured them with like 2 girls and a boy. But the girl would be the eldest. That was my headcanon. So, but for me, I was like, oh my god, please let it be a girl. So they said, all right, anyone who wants a boy, like, yell or whatever, cheer. And there was some cheering for a boy, but I knew at that point, because there wasn't enough cheering, the girl was gonna win. And we all screamed for the girl when the girl was put up as the other option, and indeed he drew a girl. I will say though, cute as she is, I would prefer her hair not to be so spiky in the front, but it was still pretty cute. Like, cause she did remind me a lot of the gender bend Natsu that Mashima had drawn once. As far as the hair went, because it looked just like Lucy's hair on the bottom, and then Natsu's hair on top, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of when Juvia had that fantasy in the filler arc, in the anime, where she was picturing their little girl, and the girl had like crazy spiky gray sama hair on top, and then her curled hair on the bottom. and it looked ridiculous. It's kind of like that, but better because Mashima drew it, and it was still really cute. She was a really cute little girl, so I was happy to see a Nalu little girl offspring. But yeah, the panel was super fun. But then again, they did the rock paper scissors for the sketches that Mashima had now just drawn, and the sketches. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so well, I talked about this on Tumblr too. But basically, while they were drawing, not Juvia and Gray, they were asking about whether the editor who was also there, Mitsuki-san, I think, or I forgot what his name was. They asked him who his favorite character is, and if he ever like tried to make Mashima include a character because he liked them. And he said that he used to like Juvie. I mean, he used to like Lucy. In fact, I'm pretty sure he said Natsu and Lucy because I heard Natsu in there. But that's not what the lady translated. But yeah, he says he used to like Lucy, but now he's pretty sure it's Juvia. And that made me really happy because I know that he has an editor who likes Juvia, and obviously this is him. And because he had drawn Juvia once on his, they had Twitter, it was, he posted it, Mashima posted his Juvia drawing on the Twitter with like the gray breads raining down on her. It was really cute. So I was really happy that we have like an editor in our corner who likes Juvia. And then they asked Mashima, like, why do you keep, why'd you keep bringing Juvia back? Like, why, when she was introduced, did you keep bringing her back? And he's like, because, at first she was just going to appear in Phantom Lord arc, and that was it. And yet, then she fell in love with Gray, and then she started following Gray around, and things started getting interesting. So he wanted to expand on that relationship, so he kept bringing her back. Which basically means he wanted to write Gruvia. That's why Juvia kept coming back. That's amazing. That he basically said, I planned on Gruvia, so that's why Juvia became like a more prominent character. That's pretty great. I'm very happy with that answer. That makes me very, content. Let's just say that much. So I'm very grateful that Mashima felt it was an interesting dynamic that he wanted to continue to explore. And he says it's so funny because he says it in a way like it's surprising to him that Juvia fell in love and started following Ray around, and that he wanted to see what would happen. I guess as a writer, he wanted to kind of, see what would happen because he's obviously the one who made her fall in love with him and made her follow him around. I guess he just thought it was fun, and it was fun for him to write. I understand that as a writer, I write fan fiction, and I understand wanting to get creative like that and explore, this avenue and that avenue of different story lines, and just what will happen if I do this, and what will happen if they say this, and what will happen if I get them closer, and I get it. So I'm very happy that he felt that way about Gray and Juvia, and especially Juvia because, she obviously became my favorite character eventually, so yay! Yay, Juvia! So they then were going to give away all these sketches, and of course, my friends and I, we all are terrible. We had rock, paper, scissors apparently because we all lost very quickly. And the people who won, though, got random ones. Okay, so you weren't able to choose which one you would get. So even if you wanted Gray and Juvia real bad, the chances that you're going to get handed it, not likely. So, but I was able to they were very kind, the people who won, and held up the pictures of both of that, Nalu and Gruvia together, and I was able to get a nice picture of them both. Then it was time for the main event, because now we had to leave the panel and go off to the secret, private, special autograph area. Oh my god. And we were so I was so nervous. I don't know about Kat and Whitney and Marie, but I was dying on the inside. I was like, oh my god, we're going to actually meet Mashima personally. Now, this is really nerve-wracking. But, so, we walked in, we had to show our golden ticket, and then show it again to get into the line. Now, here's what happened. that day, I kind of had my plushies, my Gray and Juvia plushies, the original ones, hanging out on my bag. Now they have magnets, okay? So that's how they can do that. But the problem is, if you nudge them, if you hit them, if you're not paying attention, if they get jostled, it's easy for them to come loose. And that's what happened with Juvia. So while we were waiting around for a little while before we were let into that private autographing area. And so we were online, and I immediately, thankfully, as I was looking through my bag, because I didn't see Juvia hanging onto the strap anymore. Gray had fallen in, but Juvia had not fallen in, and I was dying. I was like, oh my god, where is she? Where did she go? And I'm like, I know I had her when I was outside of this area, and is she still there? So here I am, all in my cosplay. I'm in my Juvia, like the freaking wig and the skirt and everything, and I am like, I have to get out of here. I have to go find her, because there's so many memories attached to her. You could say, oh, you made her, you could just make another one. No, puppies, no, because this plushie, okay, I'm not a machine. All right, I've made lots of Gray and Juvia plushies, and they always turn out different. And I love how my Gray and Juvia look, and I do not want to have to make more. I don't want to have to pre-place her, and there's so many memories attached to that Juvia, and it would devastate me if I lost her. So I ran as fast as I could back to that area to try and find her again, and oh my god, my heart just stopped dying and beating uncontrollably when I saw her lying sadly on the floor where I had been standing. I was like, oh, Juvia, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I swear. And this giant Juvia is not trying to replace you in Gure-sama's heart. I didn't mean to knock you off. I'm not in love rival mode. So I picked her up, and I ran back, and I was dying because I didn't know when they would start the autographing, and I didn't want to miss it. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what the procedure was going to be, and I ran back as quick as I could. But as I was running, I became all disheveled. My hair started falling out, like the wig coming off, and you could see my real hair, and I was like, oh my god, and I'm about to meet Mashima, and I look like this. This is ridiculous. Why did this just happen? So, true friends that they are, had to calm me down, and Kat held up my phone on the camera so that I can see what I was doing. I literally had to take off my hair, put on that wig cap again, and smush all my hair, my real hair, back in there, and put on the wig again, and fix it properly, and put on my little thingy for my maid costume. And then I was, made sure I pulled my skirt back up and fixed my corset and my stockings and everything, and just, became more presentable for Mashima. Jesus Christ, I was just not happy right there. I was just like, oh my god, why'd I have to go through that? I probably looked all red too at the same time. Like, I was probably all, like, hot and just, like I said, like, flustered and frazzled. So yeah, that was not a good time, but it's okay, it all worked out, and we had plenty of time to still sit there, and until they started coming by. This guy came by, and he gave us a sticky note, and he asked what our names were, and he wrote our names on there, and as we moved ahead, we okay, so actually, let me talk about this. We all had a thing we wanted to do as far as meeting Mashima goes. So my thing was, I wanted to give him my plushies, all right, and especially Ichiya, because I thought that he would get a kick on that. Like the Groovia plushies, he's seen Groovia plushies. I've shown him many of them over the years on Twitter. But Ichiya, that was something new, and he spoke a lot about Ichiya, actually, in the panels that we had seen him in so far. So I was very pleased, and he reconfirmed that Ichiya was, like, a character he really loved, and one that he thought he looked like. So I was like, I made the correct choice. I felt very secure in my choice of plushie to give him at that point. So that was my thing. I wanted to give him the Ichiya and Groovia plushies, and just let him know how much fairy tales meant to me, that it's really changed my life, and that I met so many friends because of this series. And those were my main points I wanted to get across. There were other things I would have liked to have said, but Marie's whole thing was she wanted to find out if Mashima would ever draw more fairy tale. And in fact, that was her question on the first night at the Japan Society. And he had said, I just finished. I just finished. Not saying, he didn't shut the door on it, but he's like, maybe somebody else might take that up. Like, like the spin-off authors that like the ones that did the Gajeel one and the Laxus one and the Sabretooth one. It'd be great. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if they did, because I thought that author is really good. They are very good artists. They're very close to, they get the dynamics down really well, and the art is really pretty spot on. So I wouldn't mind that, but obviously I would prefer Mashima to do it himself. Point is, though, that she really wanted to ask if he would ever draw a Grey and Juvia child. Because she even learned it in Japanese, she had practiced it, she knew it all by heart, she wanted to say it to him in Japanese, and she had got it down pat. So that was her thing. And Kat, the woman who got us the signing in the first place, she had a sign. She had written Goody Doobie on it, and like with the hashtag NYCC, and it had the plushies I'd made for her, the swimsuit ones, literally taped to the sign. It was really cute, and so she was going to show him that, and she was spot on with that sign, because he was very amused, and it struck up a very interesting conversation that I really appreciate happened. And Whitney, of course, wanted to give her a beautiful art. She had it framed, and it just looked amazing, and she was going to give him like Lucy, a beautiful Lucy that she had done, and a beautiful Juvia, and my favorite Groovy of hers, which is the Hot Springs one. They just look so cute there, especially Juvia looks really cute in that one. So she had framed all those, and she was going to give him those. And then Bahari was with us too, and she couldn't decide. At first she was going to get Grey, but then she ended up, because she's such a huge Nalu fan, and she was very happy with all the Nalu that went on in that panel that we had just gone to, with him holding up the Natsu and Lucy drawing, and then drawing Natsu and Lucy's kid. She was just so happy, and that's when actually Kat had decided she's going to give her the opportunity to come with us, because she had gotten into, like I said earlier, she had actually, thanks to someone on Reddit, had actually already gotten into this panel, so that she was able to use her ticket and give that to Bahari, her badge that was connected to that lottery win, to get her in. So I was really happy that she got to share that with us. And she decided she was going to get Lucy, which was good, because that apparently was the first Lucy drawn that day. So, which was surprising, because it's Lucy. But yeah, she was really happy with her Lucy. Yeah, that was all of our plans. We all had an individual thing we wanted to do, and they started going around and with the little sticky note and asking what our names were, and they wrote it in English. And then this Japanese lady would come up to us, who was part of that team, Mashima's team, and she would write our name in Japanese, and then also ask us what character we wanted. We were allowed one character, and I wanted Juvia, and she's like, of course, because of how I was dressed. And I was like, but no, because if I was in character, I would absolutely want Grey. I was being a very self-absorbed Juvia, choosing Juvia over Grey-sama. Juvia would always choose Grey, 1000% of the time. But yeah, so I was gonna get Juvia, and then Marie, and she had said this actually months and months ago, before we had the well, not months and months ago. I think we had found out Mashima was coming before the series ended. Yeah, we found out Mashima was coming slightly before the series ended. So, Marie, we all had thought, oh, for sure we're gonna get next gen. We're gonna get the kids and the marriage. And she said she wanted him to draw their child, right? So that's what she wanted. And at that time, we all thought there would be a child. And so what happened was, now she couldn't do that because there is no kid. Not that we know of, he hadn't done anything yet. And so, but now there was a precedence for it, because the panel had that girl asking about him drawing a Natsu and Lucy child, and he did it. He did it. And I feel a lot of people are saying, oh my god, he would have drawn any, he would not have, in my opinion, he would not have drawn a crack ship kid or a ship kid that wasn't official, that he wasn't comfortable with drawing. That's my opinion, and I'll say why. Because when Marie asked, they had to get it approved by 2 different people. All right, and then even still, it wasn't approved completely because they added that Marie needed to pick a backup, just in case Mashima said no. All right, and her backup was gray. That's why I know that they would not have just done anybody. Mashima would not have just drawn anything just because somebody asked. That's my opinion based on that situation. So, the fact, though, that I'm like, you know what, she's probably going to get it because of the Natsu and Lucy kid that was drawn earlier, because now it'd be harder to say no because of that. So, I was excited for that one. And, so yeah, anyway, so then it was my turn. It was almost my turn and I was dying. And I was very happy that Marie actually thought to record what happened, because I will tell you people, I would not have remembered a damn thing. Not a thing, because I was so nervous. I had been rehearsing for a while in my head, which was bad and good, because I was so rehearsed, I managed to get out all the important things I wanted to say, which was that Fairy Tail changed my life, that I made so many friends because of the series, and that's why it would be, and I even told him first that he retweeted me. I had made plushies, grape and Juvia dolls, and also a sweater last year, and he remembered. He was like, so, like he thought he was like drawing, but he was like, he nodded his head. He remembered that he did indeed retweet me. So that was really cool that he remembered that. I didn't think he would, actually. I didn't think so, but he did. And that made me happy. And then I told him, like I said, that Fairy Tail changed my life, and I made so many friends. And then I said, that's why it would be an honor if you would accept this gift from me. And he, said, yeah, or something. I don't know exactly what was said until Marie started recording, because it's all a blur. So I took out the Gruvia plushies, and he immediately stopped drawing to pick them up. And here's where some of my regret comes in now. He picked them up and he was happy, he was smiling, and he picked them up and he realized that they're connected. And he's like, oh, and this was my cue, which I did not take, to show him that they come apart. And I feel sad that I didn't do that at that time, because I think it would have been a fun moment and it would have impressed him a little bit that they are actually magnetized and they could come apart and come back together and re-hold hands. In fact, Juvia has 2 magnets in her hands, in both hands, so that she could actually hold on to Gray's arm if she wants to, like that. I didn't show him any of this because I was too concentrated on my rehearsed lines of saying that, I made you these characters because they're my favorite characters and my favorite couple, but I also made you this other character because this other character seems to have a very special place in your heart. So I was trying to get that out to give him the piece de resistance, if you will, of like the main event, the Ichiya, because as much as I'm trying to represent Gruvia, he's seen Gruvia plushies, I want him to see Ichiya, because I think that's really what he's gonna like. So I put out the Ichiya plushie and did not tell him that the Gruvia plushies are magnetized, so I'm worried now that he's never gonna realize that the plushies are magnetized. Not that they're so magnetized that they're never gonna come. They come apart easy. But I'm worried that maybe he's going to be so careful with them and think that they're sewn together that if they do come apart, he's going to think that he messed them up or someone messed them up. And that makes me sad. So maybe I'll do an instructional video for him and post it on Twitter. I probably will, just for fun. I'm sure he would figure it out. I mean, it's not rocket science, but I don't know. I just feel so like, oh, why didn't I tell him they're magnetized? I'm so stupid. Maria, stupid. Anyway, brought out the Ichiya and he flipped. He immediately had a huge smile on his face, and what was great was he put it up next to him to compare, like, yeah, that's me! And then he posed with the Gruvia plushies, and he posed with the Ichiya plushies so that Marie could take a picture of him with them, which was super cool of him. And that's another regret, I kind of wish I had got in on his men pose, so that at least I would have a picture with him, But it is what it is. Again, regrets. And then I shut up. after I gave him the Ichiya, he had barely drawn Juvia's eyes on mine, and I was like, I'm going to stop talking because I already took up a lot of his time, and there are people behind me, and I'm just going to stop. There were a lot of things I wanted to say. I wanted to tell him about why Juvia is my favorite character, why I like Gruvia so much. I would have kept talking, and he would have already been done drawing, and that's what I was worried about, so I just stopped talking, and then here's the other regret. He thanked me for my gift, and at first I didn't realize that that's what he said, and I just said, oh, I didn't say you're welcome, I didn't say I'm so happy that you like them, I said nothing, and they took the picture, and, you know, I think I said thank you, I hope I did, and then I stood over to the side, because I should have left. I didn't, and I was taking Marie's picture, and I thought I was taking a video, and that's my other regret, that I thought I was taking a video, and it turns out I pressed it probably twice out of nerves, and it didn't record anything. And I did get a picture of her with Mashima, and I did get a picture of him having drawn the Gruvia kid and wanting a picture of it. And that's the other thing. See, he saved that picture. He wanted that picture saved because he's probably going to reuse it. I don't think he's going to that picture, that kid, here's the oh yeah, so obviously she got the kid drawn. That's the other thing. He laughed when he saw what she wanted, and he asked her what she preferred, what a boy or a girl, and obviously we wanted a boy for Gruvia. And so we got our Gruvia. We literally, New York chose the genders of the kids, which is amazing to me. Like, what? We got exactly what we wanted because we were able to choose, and I really hope he sticks with those. I really hope he doesn't change them around. I feel like if he does change anything, it's only because he's going to draw them older. So obviously these are little kids, and probably like 8, 9 or something like that. Like when Natsu, the age that Natsu and Gray and everyone were when they first joined the guild. So I think if he does change anything, it's only because he's going to make them older. If he does that, if he does anything with it. But yeah, I really hope he keeps them. I really, because the way he drew Gruvia's kid was perfection. I don't know how he did that. Because we were always thinking, okay, he's going to have Juvia's eyes and Gray's hair, and somehow he managed to combine every single thing perfectly, because he didn't just have Juvia's eyes, he had Gray and Juvia's eyes. How he did that, magic. Magic, and the fact that he just did it like that, it makes me wonder if, you know, like, just did it in that moment. How did he even think that fast, to design the character so fast? Which makes me wonder, had he thought about it? Had he already designed it? I don't know, but it was perfect. His hair was a perfect combo. It was like almost trying to be spiky at the top, but because of all that wave that's, you know, Juvia's jeans is more so wavy, and we found out later on what color his hair was, which was again a perfect mix of Gray and Juvia, and it just, I love that kid. And he said he is Bishonen. That's what he told Marie, Bishonen. And absolutely, which means like a really good looking guy, like a pretty boy, basically. And he absolutely is. He's got the eyelashes on the bottom, like Juvia. And I could not have asked for a better looking kid. Like, that kid's gonna be hot. When he grows up, he's gonna be a really attractive boy. And I'm calling him Bishikun until we get a name for him, because that's the only thing we know, is that he's Bishonen. So that is Bishikun, in my opinion. And I would love for his name to be Kuro, to be honest. We had debated Shiro or Kuro, because obviously Shiro is white, Kuro is black, and obviously Gray's got in his family a color scheme name thing going on, because obviously his dad was silver, he's gray. To me, black makes more sense than white, and because I feel like Gray and Juvia's character would be more of a darker character, because of their both the way they both are, they kind of darker backgrounds, and more stoic. Especially like in Juvia's case in her past. So I like, and plus Kuro sounds like cool, the way you say it. Kuro full buster, cool full buster. It just all makes so much sense. It goes perfectly for him. So if they do go there, I hope it's Kuro. But there's the other thing, that their other names are completely English. Like Gray's name is literally Gray, Gure. And Silver's name is literally Silver, Shilvar, you know? So that worries me a little bit, that he won't go with a Japanese name. So, what's this? it's lint flying in the air. Fluffs. Anyway, so yeah, we were all dying that we now had a groovy baby. That was born at the signing. That is really cool. Like, Marie got her Groovia kid at last, personally for her. That was amazing. I also really like, oh no, I didn't show my Juvia. So, okay, here's my Juvia. Alright? That's my Juvia. It's in Ziploc right now because I don't want it to get dirty or yellowed or anything. So my Juvia is kind of like a badass, kind of sexy Juvia. I really like Whitney's Juvia too. Whitney's Juvia is really like a happy, cute Juvia. So he gave us, it's amazing that he drew them like so, like obviously the same character but so different. Like just little changes. And obviously there's my name in Japanese. Maria Sama, I think. That's the Sama. Apparently it does say Sama. So it's Maria Sama, and I like that. That's so cute that they have the Sama. And then there's, of course, there's Hiro's name. He signed. And this is just everything to me. This makes me so happy. And I definitely want to display this with this and maybe other things. I don't know. And I just, you know, like maybe mat it like that, or maybe, I don't know. I'm so happy that I have this. This is amazing. Like, I always used to be jealous when I would see, like, the Japanese have their signings, their pictures that they were drawn individually. And that's why I so wish Mashima would do that here if he ever came. And then he did, and we got in, and we all got one. So, alright, so basically, there was a guy who was, I think, Mashima's friend, and he was super nice, and he was taking pictures of all the stuff. Like, he wanted to take pictures of the plushies. And they took the plushies away from Mashima, and I had a bag for them, and they put them in there, and I think they put them away. And they took a picture, like I said, of the kid that Mashima had just drawn. And I know they took a picture of Whitney's bags. They liked the bags. They saw my bag first, and I was like, Whitney did that. That was her. She made those. So they took pictures of the bags. And there was a guy who was a camera guy, and it was for TV, we think. And we think it's going to end up on Japanese TV. They were filming at the Japan Society as well, and they filmed the next day as well at the at the signing, and they actually had me and Marie and Whitney, and we were all talking to the camera because we were all in cosplay. So they filmed us together, and I don't know I couldn't even think of what to say. Marie did most of the talking. I kind of blanked because I was nervous, because when someone's pointing a camera at me and I'm not prepared, at least I got out what I wanted to say with Mashima. I already explained my regrets there, but it is what it is. And the guy asked me something or said something to me. I don't know if he told me to move or if he wanted a picture or what. I didn't know what he was saying because he has an accent, and because I was so flustered and so nervous, and I wasn't paying 100% attention, so I just kind of nodded. Again, there were a lot of things I wish I did differently, and I didn't, so it just sucks. I was happy I got to shake Mashima's hand, though. Again, it could have gotten better. It could have gotten worse. It could have gotten a lot worse. So, I was just very happy, that I basically didn't screw up, and I was able to give him my plushies, and I got my Juvia drawing that I've always wanted, and it just was magical. It was amazing, and Mashima could not have been nicer. Really, he was interested in everything. He was excited about everything. He was just genuinely kind and just joyful and down to earth, and so were all the people with him. They were all just so nice, and it was just such a pleasant experience. Like, whoever was involved in that, you guys are all awesome. Just everybody was lovely. So thank you for making that so great. And so yeah, Marie, when she was done, we both were kind of pushed away because we were blocking up and we had to leave. So I didn't get to see what happened with Kat and Whitney and Bahare. But I did afterwards. They told us that Kat signed, the Goody Juby signed, and then he was really amused by it, and then she turned it around because they're like, what's Goody Juby in English? And it said on the other side, which was Marie's old sign, Groovia is canon. And Mashima knew what Groovia was. He knew that Groovia was Goody Juby in English. But he didn't know what canon was, and Cat explained canon to Mashima, saying that it means like the couple is officially together in a relationship, and he goes, "Oh, then you guys must have really liked 545, you know." Mashima confirmed Grooviest canon in 545, so that is amazing. That is everything. So we got the Groovia kid, we got confirmation from Mashima that Groovia is canon in 545. We knew that, but it's still nice to hear because I do feel like a lot of the Western fans, and me included, felt like it could have been more obvious. It felt kind of vague in ways, like we were looking for something a little more. I wanted a kiss. We never got a kiss, we never will get a kiss. Makes me sad, sad days. But it's okay. Because, Gray said that Juvia's body is his, so it's fine. It's all good. They're canon. And we have a groovy baby that I can now headcanon over, and I'm so headcanoning over this. That groovy baby, Juvia is going to be loving up on him so hard. No woman is going to be good enough for her kid, her handsome, handsome child, and oh god, Gray is going to have to tear her away from him constantly, and it just makes sense. It really does make sense that they would have a boy. I feel like it really fits their family dynamic a lot, and that kid is going to be very loved by both of them. And he just looks so cool. He looks really, really just like a badass, a little badass. And I'm happy that we have that kid. And then Whitney went, and she gave her art. And her art, she said that he was confused. He thought that she was just showing it to him and not giving it to him. And when he found out, he really loved it, and he's gonna hang it in his studio, in his home. That's so cool. And he was just, again, he was like, they loved her bags that she made. Like, he was just so genuinely nice and interested in everybody. Like I said, with Kat, she taught him what canon was. Like, we all had such a special, unique experience with him that it was just really, really cool. I really feel like we left an impression on him, and that's really all we could ask for. So we all had, so what ended up happening was I got Juvia, Marie got Bishikun, Kat got Gray, and Whitney got Juvia, and Bahari got Lucy. And we just, that moment, all of that was just the best, easily the best part of the entire experience. It made that con. It was, and we did it together. That's what we wanted. Like, if I was there by myself, I wouldn't have probably ever even made him the plushies. I probably wouldn't have the nerve to give him to him. I wouldn't have even gotten in, because without Kat, I would never have won the lottery. I would not have had the golden ticket. I would never have met him. That's the bottom line. And I feel like we were all each other's support. We were all each other's cheerleaders. We were all just each other's just rock, and just being there to make the experience even that much more rich for each other. At least that's how I feel. For me personally, with Marie and Kat and Whitney and Bahari and Brittany and Jane and everybody who was there, Rich and everyone, and just the fans that we met that day or both those days. Those experiences, those friendships and those bonds and those just the memories that I made this weekend, it was just such a nice way to culminate, just to end the series, because we were a little down about the ending. Like I said, we wished it had been more solid, not so vague as far as the ships went. But this, we got the kid, we got confirmation of canon, and we got to meet Mashima, and we got to give him our gifts, and say what we wanted to say, and learn what we wanted to learn, and we all did it together, and it was perfection. It couldn't, honestly, I could not ask for more. It was quite the event, so it was amazing, and well, here, but then there was a thing. There was an issue. Sunday, we had gotten those tickets. Those tickets in desperation at the last moment. And the reason I was cosplaying, that I even was going to cosplay in the first place, was for Sunday. So this is going to go into a little bit of a more negative space now, because that was the super happy, the most amazing thing ever, and it was like the highlight of the entire weekend. But we no longer needed to go Sunday. It seemed crass to do so, because we were given an opportunity we were given a gift. We were gifted into Mashima's panel, and it seemed rude to then try and meet him again. But Marie was going to try because she had a question to ask. She was a woman on a mission. She's like, I'm going to try. But here's the thing. She went on to the panel Saturday as well, and she found out something really awful, which is, like I said before, they had said that, and we even went to Funimation. We went to the Funimation booth on Thursday to double check, and nothing had changed from what we had already known. You know, the cosplayers getting there early. You know, but now turns out you needed to enter another lottery. You didn't need to cosplay. All right. They were just going to do another lottery early that morning, and then they were going to cap it as well. They were going to cap that line, and and whoever got in, and once the line was capped, then you were shut out out of the lottery. So that sucked. But before we found that out, Whitney and I had decided we were going to give our tickets to our badges that we had gotten in at the last moment for Sunday. We were going to give them to our friends Brittany and Jane. So to give them an opportunity to meet Mashima, that we told them, we're like, okay, all you have to do, get there really early, be in cosplay, you should be fine, you'll get in. But then they changed it to the lottery. And now it was like, oh no. You know, this is terrible. Like, I felt bad because I was like, I told them that they could just dress up and go early and they should get in, and now it's a lottery again. And it's so devastating. Like, if we hadn't gotten the golden tickets, we would have gotten screwed. We never would have met him. Not at all. Sunday would not have worked out. We would have paid all that money for our tickets. We would have paid the money for the cosplay, all for nothing. It would never have happened. We never would have met him, and we would have been so broken, I feel. I would have. I know for sure. So, God bless this. But yeah, now Brittany and Jane were going with Marie to go to the Sunday thing to try and get in, and they went real early in the morning, and it was just as Marie put it, a shit show, apparently. Everyone scrambled to the booth, and people were crowding it, and they kept threatening to cancel it, cancel the signing, because people won't back up. And those people who did back up, those people who did disperse, they were punished because they got shut out of the line to enter the lottery. And the people who didn't disperse, those people who kept being there and basically got, again, rewarded for their bad behavior by getting into the lottery and getting to enter. Marie, luckily, somebody didn't care. They couldn't make it, so they gave her... she didn't get to enter the lottery at all, I think. Somebody gave her their losing ticket. Because what happened with the lottery was you would either get a time to come back for the signing, which would be either a 10-something or a 12-something, or you would end up getting a high-five Mashima, which means you don't get a signing, you just get to high-five him. Like, literally, you get to high-five him, and you'll come back at a certain time to do that. Now, somebody said they didn't care. Somebody who got it, who lost and got the high-five, said they didn't care. Do you want it? So Marie took it. Brittany and Jane, they both lost. They all got high-fives. So that, is really disappointing. It's unfair. They spent time and money to cosplay. They came super early, and they got shut out of what should have been a no-brainer. You reward the fans who are cosplaying. You reward the people who came early. You don't shut them out and reward people who don't even want or care about Fairy Tail, that they just happen to win. They just happen to be there, decide to play for it and win and get in. And those people who spend time and money cosplaying and are true fans get shut out. It's just the lottery situation in Comic-Con. To me, it's not fair. This was wonderful. This was, thank God someone took pity on us and, decided to be kind and give us this opportunity. But the lottery thing, I feel like, is not a great way to go about a lot of this stuff. Because people do get rewarded who don't deserve it. And anyway, so... But it's okay, because it all worked out, because Brittany even got noticed by Mashima. He said to her, oh, she was dressed as maid Lucy now. And he goes, oh, Lucy, and you could see him smiling at her in the picture of her, like, giving him her high five. And everyone, so at least they got to meet him. So I'm really happy that, we at least could have given them that opportunity. And, and at the end of the day, it all worked out. It could have been better, but it could have been a lot worse. So, I mean, it was a pretty amazing experience all in all for everybody, I think. But I will cherish those memories forever. It was a really great way to kind of send off for the series. In our case, we, like, Kat's moving. I don't know when I'm going to see her again. I would love to go visit her in Japan. It's an expensive thing. It's an expensive trip to take. Whitney, I saw her twice this year. I'm shocked. I never thought I would see her again within the same year, because we live so far apart. She's all the way in Texas and I'm all the way in New York. So that was so cool, and I hope I get to see her again soon. And obviously Marie lives here, so I see her whenever I want, which is great. But yeah, it's just, it feels like it's probably going to be the last get-together, like the last really big get-together for a long time, and probably the last great, like, Groovia and Fairy Tail centric get-together, because we've traveled around to see each other several times in the last several years since we've known each other, and it's just been thanks to Fairy Tail that we made these, in my opinion, lifelong friendships. And this was a wonderful way to end, like, our journey with Fairy Tail. I mean, we're all gonna probably still watch the anime. I know I am. I want to see, because Mashima answered something very interestingly during the Japan Society thing. They asked him if there's going to be anything extra put into the anime, and he basically said, well, we're talking about that right now, no comment. So I think there probably is. So I'm looking forward to that. And so yeah, I'm definitely going to watch the anime, and I want to see, like, even if they don't, I want to see the Groovia stuff. I want to see, like, the living together. I want to see, I want to hear Yukian and Mai Mai voicing the characters that I love so much, and, bringing those scenes to life, like 453, 499, like I said, the living together stuff. I just, and then at the end, your body is mine. It's so funny to me, too, that Juvia's last line will probably be, Juvine! So, like, that sound effect is literally the last thing Juvia is going to say in the series, probably. So, but yeah, it's been, wow, what an experience. Mashima, again, I can't say enough nice things about him. He was so cool. He could not have been nicer. He could not have been more genuine, and, he really does seem to like New York, which is really awesome of him. And, I just, I got to cosplay Juvia. I got to be with my friends and do all this together, and it was an adventure. It really was. It was crazy times. Like, ups and downs. What a roller coaster. Like, going from being excited he was coming and getting all prepared and getting excited that people, our friends are coming to join us and do this together, and then finding out it's a lottery and being scared that it's not going to work out, and then it didn't work out because we all lost, and being devastated, and then, regrouping and going, we're going to cosplay, we're going to go on Sunday, and then, finding out that, not everyone's going to be able to do that on Sunday, like Kat couldn't, and then Kat got in, but we still weren't sure what was going to happen, and then this happened, and everything was, back to happy, shiny, happy times again, and then we found out Sunday was gonna be the way it, then we gave away our tickets so that our friends could maybe meet him on Sunday, and then we found out the lottery thing, but then it all worked out anyway because Mashima's so awesome, and I, it was a lot of up and down, and it was just but it was amazing. At the end of the day, it was great, and I couldn't have asked for more. And I can now say Mashima owns a set of my plushies, and I hope he has fun with them, especially the Ichiya men. I don't know if you noticed that Ichiya's hands were like this either. By the way, they were totally in this position. It was a lot of things again that I wish I could have explained or said to him, but I was just too much not in the headspace at the time, so I couldn't say anything. But yeah, so it was very cool. The video is on my Tumblr, and I'll put that down below for anyone interested in finding, actually seeing the video of Mashima getting the plushies, for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. And, other pictures of my friends and I in our experience at the con and meeting him. And, this is definitely going to be the longest video. I'm coming up on 2 hours. And, but it's okay, because I knew it was going to be long. And if you guys, checked out early, I understand it's a lot. But yeah, that was the meeting. That was the magical things that happened this weekend to my friends and I, and I hope that my friends are okay with me sharing part of their stories too, because it all connected together. This is still amazing, and Juvia is still amazing, and I'm really happy that I got to meet Mashima finally. Arigatou gozaimasu, sensei, for Juvia, and for Groovia, and confirming everything, and for the story, because if not for you, I would not have made so many amazing friends and had so many amazing adventures. And I'm gonna stop talking because now I'm getting teary-eyed thinking about everything else. And it was great. As whatever you have, complaints and things that you would have about Fairy Tail, myself included, any criticisms, at the end of the day, it was a pretty entertaining series, and it brought a lot of good into my life personally. So I'm always going to be grateful to it, and I'm looking forward to the anime. So yeah, Mashima's pretty awesome. He really, really is. So yeah, thank you for. If you watched all of this, oh my god, bless you. And if not, I get it. So anyway, goodbye, and yes, it was so cool. See ya.